Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Vivi Indriani. My official number is A1M218075. In this moment, I want to presentation my mini proposal about the implementation of blended learning in teaching English during COVID-19 pandemic at SMP Negeri 2 Raha. Next. In chapter 1, there are introduction, background of the study. Based on Compass.com 2020, English is one of each of the subject tested in the national exam at junior high school level. According to Kemendikbud 2016, the junior high school level national examination will test mathematics, Indonesian, English, and science. Half a century ago, English teaching has become an expert and academic field. Research on the teaching of English in Indonesia, Hamid 2001, Venkanawati 2005, Luciana 2006, revealed that it is considered to be unsuccessful due to inadequate teachers' English proficiency, poor teaching facilities, and insufficient learning resources. As per Graham 2005, blended learning is simpler than discovering that consolidates web-based learning with face-to-face learning, learning. As indicated by Garner and Oke 2015, blended learning is a learning climate intent to coordinate face-to-face learning with internet releasing, which expect to upgrade understudy learning results. Next, in the research question, there are two research questions here. The first one is, how is the implementation of blended learning flip model in teaching English during the COVID-19 pandemic at SMP Negeri 2 Raha? And the second is, what are the problems faced by the teacher in implementing blended learning in teaching English during the COVID-19 pandemic at SMP Negeri 2 Raha? And C is the objectives of the study. The objectives of the study is See the objectives of the study. In the objectives of the study is 2 points. Namely, the first one is to know the implementation of blended learning flip model in teaching English during the COVID-19 pandemic at SMP Negeri 2 Raha. And the second one is to know what is the problems faced by the teacher in implementing blended learning in teaching English during the COVID-19 pandemic in SMP Negeri 2 Raha. Next, in chapter 2, literature review. There are a theoretical review. The first one is blended learning. As you know together, blended learning is gotten from the English language comprising of 2 syllable mix and learning. Blending means a good blend or combination. Blended learning is a combination of learning greatness has done face-to-face and virtually. Next, in C, advantage of blending learning. The advantage of blended learning is helping understudies to grow better inside the learning cycle for the learning styles and learning inclination. This is the advantage of blended learning by Kusama 2014. Next, the purpose of blended learning. The purpose of blended learning is helping understudies to grow better inside the learning cycle for the learning styles and learning inclinations. Next, the advantage of blended learning. The advantage of blended learning, according to Lalima and Dangwo 2017, namely, it gives more degree to correspondence. The correspondence cycle is finished and mixed releasing, which is inconceivable in the event that we keep just the standard methodology. Next, in the disadvantage of blended learning is, according to Krasulia 2017, the disadvantage of blended learning is another part of blended learning that might be testing is bunch work of challenge with the board in a web setting. Next, the second point of theoretical review is COVID-19 pandemic. COVID-19 pandemic is a condition in which an epidemic of virus is widespread worldwide. The COVID-19 pandemic is a new epidemic that was first discovered in Wuhan, China in 2019. All activities are carried out from home because this virus. Next, the learning process during COVID-19 pandemic. The learning process during the pandemic took place online after the issuance of a new circular and decision by the Mendikbud as a reference for educational institution conduct face-to-face and online learning. The implementation of blended learning is one of the choices to be applied in learning at this time for areas where the risk spreading COVID-19 is low. Okay, next, still in Chapter 2, Literature Review, in the previous study. The first past investigation is an exploration conducted by SAR in 2019. The study found that the Atura-born Islamic high school teacher to apply the blended learning model in her class as a cycle which start in class face-to-face is followed by online assignment or online activities in Google Classroom and ends in class again to follow up on online assignment or online activity. Okay, we move in Chapter 3, Research Methodology. First one is instruments. The researcher use interview guidelines, and then researcher use small written notes and audio recordings, and the last one is researcher use semi-structural interviews. Next, indeed, the technique of data analysis. The first one is coding. Coding is similar to getting ready for the data given. The essential experience in coding is referenced as opening coding, primary coding, or temporary coding. This slide is the example of coding. There are two names, is Ambarini Setiawati and Vivi Utami as the English teacher in SMP Negeri Suraha. The first one is Ambarini Setiawati as code is T1 as the teacher in English 7th grade, and Vivi Utami T1 in class 8th grade. Next, in data reduction, reducing the data into summing up, picking the most thing that represent considerable authority in the significant things, breaking down the subject, and furthermore is structured by Malayalam 2006. Next, in Chapter 4, findings and discussion. The first one is data presentation. In data presentation, there are observation results. In observation results, there are 3 points here. The first one is planning of the teacher, day 1 and day 2. In planning here, for the example is learning schedule, Google Site account verification, lesson plan, schedule, and others. Okay, in the implementation of the teacher day 1 and day 2, in implementation here, the teacher activities is implementing blended learning while teaching English use face-to-face and online learning. And C is evaluation of the teacher day 1 and day 2, as we know together that all of the work is. And C, the last is evaluation of teacher day 1 and day 2. Next, the 2 is interview result. In providing the data, the researcher used codes as follow: K and T. In K stand as questions of the interview, and T stand as the answer of the interview. In interview result, you can conclude that there are as question and answer, as we know that the purpose of the interview is to get information using the question first and to get the answer. Next, in the discussion, the first one is the implementation of blended learning. In SMP Negeri Suraha, implementing then fulfill student needs. Next, 2 is the problems. What is the problems faced by the teacher in implementing blending learning? There are 4 problems here. The first one is the student can't be attend because of the red zone. B, now group discussion. C, time to learning and teaching is too short. And D, online learning or including internet connection and gadget is very bad. Next, in the last chapter is Chapter 5's conclusion. After conducting research and analyzing the implementation blended learning in teaching English at SMP Negeri Suraha during the COVID-19 pandemic, it can be concluded that in the implementation of the blended learning flip model, the teacher focused on using the flip model in the teaching English process. The flip model makes it easier for teacher and students in learning activities that are usually complete in class can be done at home online. In the implementation of blended learning using the flip model, face-to-face classes are used to discuss material, and in online classes, the teacher distributes assignment. I think enough for me. I'm really sorry if there are a mistake, and I close by saying wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.